Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Just a quick, short, long bit of information about your injectors and when to replace them. And there's a number of reasons why you need to replace them. And there's a lot of misconceptions out there on how to check them and when to replace them and when, oh no, they're okay, leave them, they're fine. And look, it doesn't bother me, it's your car. I just give you the information from our experience and explain to you. I like to explain the reasons why. So that's what I want to do now. These are the reasons why. Now, just recently over the last few weeks or something, maybe during these COVID times in Melbourne, Victoria, maybe that's what it is. Why people are watching more videos, the right videos, and listening, because I've been saying, you know, all the older vehicles, the old Hiluxes, the old 120s and all that, all the injectors should be done. I don't care on kilometres or what the readings are or anything. I'll tell you why though, right? Even the early 150s, they're not full DLC command pistons. See, like this, not full DLC. So for the people that are new that don't know what's going on, trying to pick some out, easy access here, but trying to get you the right ones. We don't want to pull out that dodgy brand there with the coating worn off. You know, that's not, you don't get that out of genuine. Never seen that on a genuine one. But anyway, that's another story. You got to watch the other videos for that. So those are the DLC command pistons. We'll just put that in the mix, right? You know, do you want this or do you want that? If you don't know the answer yet, keep watching. Okay, so these are the internals. Don't worry about the seats. That's part of the story. We'll get to that. Let's look at these first, give you some info, right? So with our injector kits, when you return the injectors and all the other bits and pieces that you don't use or that you didn't use, you know, the crow's-foot we lent you and the red caps and all that sort of thing, basically what we do is strip down the injectors and we do a free contamination check, right? It's going to cost you 10 or 15 bucks to send everything back, so you know, you get a free check. And every now and then I do a video on it like this, and to show you and help educate you, and so you can see what I see. The aim is, if I could just plug you in and give you what I've got, then I'd do that, because if you knew what I knew, you would take my advice. So basically these, I might have got them mixed up now, but there's not much difference between the two. They were both manufactured in 2009. Okay, so they're internals out of 2009 injectors. One of them was September manufacture and one of them was October manufacture. Now, I checked the date on these ones first, and they were, I'm just trying to think, doesn't matter. I think these were 09 and they were 10, but it doesn't matter because they're a month apart and it's the same thing, right? So what I want to be clear about is, firstly, I'll just quickly say, when did this DLC coating come out on the command piston here, on the genuine injectors? In manufacture, that happened in 2010, okay, on and off throughout the year. It didn't get into vehicles. You can't guarantee you've got full DLC. By about 2013 vehicles, you can pretty much guarantee you've got this, and this is really good. But the life of the injector isn't that much longer. It's better for longer. You can certainly push them out more if you wanted to, but I'm going to explain to you the reasons why you don't and what the wearing parts are in a moment. And the reason I've decided to do this video is, I think it was that set, those nozzle needles were stuck in the nozzles quite badly, and looking at them, unless my eyes are playing up, I saw quite a lot of wear on those nozzle needles, right? So that's one thing I wanted to show you. And then I thought, well, I'll actually point out, because quite often I still see people online, so I'm going to use this video when you ask a silly question. Not silly, I shouldn't say that. You know, you haven't been around, you're new, and you come and ask, you turn up and ask a question, and it's kind of like, I'm going, oh, really? You know, so please understand from my position, I'm going, oh, you know, but look, so just get on and watch all the videos and do some catch up. But look, at the end of the day, these command pistons, they're not coated, they wear. Now, I'm just going to pick them up to show you typical wear, right? This is why, look, I'll say 7 years 170, right? And it does change, and it's not an absolute, because different vehicles, some of them are going to last a bit less than that, some are going to last more. The older ones typically less. We used to say probably 120 was a good guide. You could get 150 out of them, that sort of thing. but 120 was certainly a better guide on a lot of the older, like 05, 6, 7, 8, 9, until they changed in 2009. Was definitely a good guide, but of course we're in 2020 now, so we're giving information on the majority, which are from 09 to 15 is the majority, and it all varies in diagnostic, so you've got to watch all those diagnostic videos. You've got to watch the one that suits the 120 Prado, the one that suits the 150 Prado, the 120 Prado, the Hilux, auto, manual, to get those different readings and educate yourself that way. It's probably wise to watch them all and understand the difference between all the vehicles, and I'll mention in those videos what the minimums and maximums are. So again, instead of posting saying, hey, what are these specs meant to be, can someone, yeah, it's all in the videos. Anything that matters is in the videos, right? So I can give you a page of numbers and you're going to go, so what's all this and what's that mean? It doesn't really matter. I've told you what matters, okay? So check those out. So first we'll just have a look at these, just to show you typical, right? I'll bring them up a bit closer. Hopefully it works out with the focus and the light and all that, right? But you can see the wear. Look, we're looking along this area here, okay? So basically what we want to do is get you to see if we can get the light right. Hard to say. Yeah, there you go. There's the, you can just see the wear on those, yeah? Right, so we've done this before. Some people are going, yeah. We'll have a bit extra for you, don't worry. Right, the good news is contamination free. What I was going to do before I started the video was check how many kilometers these are done, and we will do that. You just have to bear with me for a few moments when we get to that. Let's have a look at this set. So they're the same age. They've been in the vehicle. They've been in the vehicles for the same amount of time. We know they're original because, you know, that's just how it is. Right, we're just going to try and again do the light. You can see the wear on the command pistons, right? Can you see all that rough? If you can see that with your eye on a camera, all that business, the tolerances here are very fine, okay? We won't even go into numbers. It's just ridiculous how fine it is. If you can see the wear looking at them like that, right? If you can see that, they're off their heads. They're not working right, okay? So now, that being said, they still work fairly well. Just remember these things, they're quiet till then, they go quietly, okay? So you're not gonna, it's a testament to how strong the engines are. You can have some really bad injector problems and the engines are carrying on, blowing smoke, knocking and carrying on, and you get it all cleaned up with a fresh set of squirters and they run really well. But when you've got smaller problems that you can't hear or see, over time is what causes the problem. Now, let's be clear, the replacement for these DLC is what you want. The coating, you want to know what DLC is? Search my channel, there's other videos that will explain that, Google it, whatever. That black coating, it has a lot less friction than this steel, right? And it's a lot harder. The coating's harder, so that means the injectors last better for longer, okay? So that's one reason we want to replace injectors, because of the wearing parts, the nozzle needles, the command pistons. There's some other parts, but these are the main parts. That's not the only reason. What's the other reason? I'm going to say 170, you know, you got to do it anyway. Well, this is why. See these seats? These seating washers. Now, we need to know how many Ks they've done, don't we? Now, we didn't do this job, so we don't know these the original seats, but this is what I'm going to do. You know, I didn't check the kilometers, so I'm going to have a look at these from my experience and tell you my guess. I can see it eroding away on the inside around that side. I can see the colour on all the copper on all of these. If I spin this one around that side, I can see it eroding away and eroding away at that side as well. I'm seeing the same on all four. Let's spin them around and have a look on the shiny side. Just to have a look, and I'm going to give you my best guess, and I'll probably be I'm usually pretty good at this, but they look, I would say that's an original. Look, I say they're original because I know the age, and if these were changed or anything before now, right, in case the person's watching, Sean W, these are yours, Sean W, and these here are Andrew P, okay, Andrew P, you both got probably, well, either 150 Prados or Hiluxes that are after September in 09 anyway, right? But we'll just have a look at a minute how many Ks. Perfect time to replace as far as the seats go. They're not, the idea is you want to catch it before these leak. If you don't know about the blow-by and the situation that blocks the oil pickup, you need to search and go and watch the other videos. Search on my channel, blocked oil pickup, oil starvation, blow-by, injector seats leaking. Now I'm just going to grab some details so we can work out the kilometres. Okay, the kilometres. Okay, whose were these again? Andrew P. Let me just look that one up. Here it is. Okay, I'm just going through, reading through. Going back through some details. Okay, here we go, right? Oh, I was meant to take my guess at those, and I didn't say it. I'll tell you what I was going to say. My initial thoughts was about 180 or so. I was thinking it's not less than 180 is what I was thinking, right? Because they're eroded away more than what I'd like to see. Lucky they're still in this good condition, but I was also thinking this could be anything up to 250 and they could look the same. That's what I was thinking, okay? Now I'm going to have a look in the message here, right? Okay. Kilometres, 212,000. So that's what these units here have done. 212,000 Ks. Okay, let me just have a look if there's any other details. I'll tell you what the vehicle is. It's a 2010 Prado. Okay, so 2010 Prado had 2009 built injectors. That's pretty good because sometimes the injectors are up to 3 years older than the vehicle. Okay, and that's a problem where if you think the DLC manufacture happened in 2010, if you think you've got them in a 2011 vehicle, because you don't. Now let's check. Hang on, let's get it the right way around. Actually, no, I was wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because that was Andrew. Andrew's on the right. So let's do that again. 212,000. Hey, you can make mistakes as long as you correct the mistake, right? So we'll get this DLC one out of the way because we don't need that. They're Andrew P's, right? We've showed you the wear on those. We're going to have a closer look at the nozzles in a minute. So whose are these again? Sean W. Let's check that out. Sean W. Okay. Shauno. I'm going to have a look at some detail. Oh, that's right. I was meant to guess the case, so I'm sticking with what I said. I don't reckon less than 180, but I don't reckon more than 250 because they'd be flogged even more. You know the other one that was 212, I reckon pretty well that's what we're looking at. Could be under the 2. Let's check it out, right? I'm just going to go through the message now, skimming through. There's a picture of a beer there. Cheers. A bit of a cheers to each other. Thanks, mate. Thanks. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Oh, look, I just want to show it to you. So I had my chance, right? I had my first guess. I thought I was right and pretty well. 212, yep. But I made a mistake, and that was there's 212s over there, right? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the. No, I can't. There's sensitive information, private information. I can't show it to you, but 205,000 Ks, guys. So there you go. Spot on the money again. So this is why I thought of this video, because it's a really good opportunity to compare the pair where they're both about the same manufacturer. Let me just have a look at the year of the vehicle again. Did I stuff that up? Because I didn't put that out there, did I? Let's have a look. It's a 10th 2010. There you go. So if I remember correctly, what's the chances of that? They're both 2010 Prados, right? Yep. Both 2010 Prados with both 2009 original injectors. The seats were missing off that one. There was 1 or 2. They were in a box, and the injectors bang around in the box and tore the box open. You know, the red caps fell out. The crows. Oh, there wasn't a crow's foot with that one, but anything like that would have fallen out the hole. You know, it was kind of like, you know, kind of like that, if you know what I mean. Big hole ripped open. But anyway, so yeah, don't do boxes. Get the good clean bubble wrap back and put it in one of those little red bags for about 10 or 15 bucks. So the reasons are the seats need to be changed. You can see here, I'll call these are the lucky set, right? You know, these are both 205. It's good value for money, okay? 200,000 Ks, you push it a bit further. It's kind of good value for money, right? I like getting a bit more out of them. I see that side of it. I've got no issue with that. But they're 10 years old. They've gone a bit too far. You can see the wear on them. How long were they not working that well for? And has it done any damage to the engine? Well, the answer is probably not. But sometimes the answer is yes, and that's the problem, because sometimes after doing this, leaving them that long, it can have started, you know, it's metal fatigue, you know, like, you know, things not working right for a period of time. So 10 years, you know, if it was 2 or 3, 10 years is a long time. So of course, if you got 10 out of these, you're going to get 10 out of the next set, right? But maybe you don't want to. Let's have a closer look at the nozzle needles to see if you can see what I could see. So as they came out, they were stuck. I went, gee, what's going on there? And these have got quite a black coating on them. I'll try from this side. Right. But when you can see the silver shining back at you like that, these are 4 of the worst I've ever seen. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is what instigated this video, right? I don't know, can you even see that? I'm trying. You got your big screen there. Right, I'm just putting a hand there for the focus. Let's try something else. Let's get a piece of paper. I've got a clean piece of paper here. Let's get a clean piece of paper. Right, here we go. I don't know if this will work, but you've got to get your priorities right. No. So look, try it again. Just trying different angles to see what works. What about around here? It's really hard for me to tell what you can see. So I'm just giving it its best chance, right? Anyway, those, I'm just going to have a look with my eye here. Those nozzle needles are off their heads. They are totally flogged. That's what I'm seeing, right? I'll try it again, just to give you, right? See that? You can see that. You can see the tapered seat at the end, right? For the old guys, like a needle and seat in a carby, right? You can see them all. They're all off their heads. Look at that. We're really getting in there now. That's good. The 2 on the outside are the worst, right? See what I mean? So, flogged, right? So if they're flogged at 200,000 Ks, and this is flogged as well, then for the older vehicles that are like this, that's why I recommend 170K, because that's maximising your use with hopefully not doing any damage. Before these get that bad, before that gets that bad, and before your pistons start going, oh, I feel like I'm 70, you know? Now, let's have a look at this set, because the DLC coating, it's really good. And normally, not always, the earliest we've seen them noisy and playing up, they're not bad, you know? This is the thing, with this system, September 09 onwards, they don't play up, they don't run rough, they don't blow smoke. Generally, they're not too bad. You can plug in your diagnostic, you're not going to see much. So if you're going to someone, or you're talking to me about, oh, I need to get a diagnostic, oh, my diagnostic says, oh, it's done 254K, but the diagnostic says they're fine, you're talking to the wrong person. You better say it to someone else. Okay, this is the other set, right? This worked pretty well before, didn't it, right? So once we finally got it right, now we know to get our priorities. If we get our priorities out, right, maybe we'll call this video priorities. But I just want to show you, they don't all do it at 200,000, right? This is what I'm trying to tell you, right? Look at that. They are gold compared to that other set. See, just on the tip though, if we can get it to work here. Just on the tip, there's a bit of wear, right? So, it's kind of like, this is a good set, right? I'm going to angle them around, yeah, just like the other ones were, yeah? Chalk and cheese, aren't they? That's what I wanted to show you, right? Same, compare the pair, like we did the other day with something, you know, a bit like that ad on TV with the super fun, compare the pair, same starting figure, same contribution, and, you know, totally different outcome, whatever. Well, there you go. Same car, same year injectors, both look original to me. There's no reason why not, whatever, and chalk and cheese. So if these people, Andrew P and Sean Webb, Sean's from WA and Andrew's from Queensland, watch this video, perhaps they can provide some feedback. Was it blowing any smoke? Was it noisy? Did you do a diagnostic? Did you see your readings out, right? Because what I'm trying to say is you're not going to see the readings. You're not going to see much smoke. They're not like the old diesels, right? They don't get like that. If they get like that, you've got some big problems, okay? And this is the problem you got. If you're waiting for that, you're pushing it too far. And remember, it's not like the old diesels. It's not the slow old thing without the turbo that, you know, hardly gets going and doesn't rev over 2,200 revs, right? They're performance machines. The intake system, the turbo, the fuel system, right? It actually really gets a lot of power and efficiency and torque out of these little engines. And this is the problem. You've got to look after them. You've got to make sure they're running right, because the way they're getting it is through precision parts like this. So anyway, guys, up to you. The reasons are out with the old, in with the new, if you know what I mean. Full DLC injectors. Plus they're worn. Plus the seats are about to leak. We'll call this the lucky set, you know. Bring them up a bit closer for you and show you what I mean. Let's do a bit more on that. This is a video that's a bit longer for the people that like the longer videos. Some people, you know what, I'll put it on the priorities paper. That'll be better. We'll get our priorities right again. Here we go. Get your priorities right. Here's your priorities. Right. I don't know how close you want them. How's that? Pretty awesome, isn't it? So, over here, you can see at this corner here where it's eroding out. Right. Same thing over here at this corner on this one here, and up the top of that one there at about, you know, 1 o'clock. Let's turn them over. You might see a better picture of it. Better or worse, who knows. At least we've got our priorities right now. Priorities. See? Priorities. Look, overall they look pretty good, and that's because they've probably never been out, factory installed. Now, see at the top of that one how it's eroding away? Eventually it gets thinner and thinner, and once they get to that stage, it's not usually much longer. So these probably would have had, I don't know, my guess. Look, those washers with the coating, the later ones, they do last a little bit longer than the original copper ones. To be clear, there's no problem with the copper washers. They've just been improved. The problem is when people don't change them, or when people reuse the seats or don't clean things properly. I've said that before. That's not what this video is about. And if you've just purchased a vehicle and you haven't owned it long, you don't know the history. That's another good reason. Unless you know, if someone was selling the vehicle and it had the injectors done, they'd say, hey, we've just had the injectors done. It's a selling point. You'd go, awesome, right? If they're not saying anything, they haven't been done. Probably they just got told they need doing, and then they said, oh, what am I going to do? Am I going to spend a few grand, a couple of grand, a few grand, or am I going to go spend tens of thousands of dollars on a new car that's going to eventually devalue pretty quick too, especially when COVID-19 takes a proper hold and the damage that it can do if it's not managed properly, like what's happening in many countries, including Australia. But that's another problem, okay? My job's not to manage it. My job's to manage the Prados, the Hiluxes, the 1KDs, and share with you guys the mechanical information and maybe save your vehicles. And I think on that note, right, we're just about done. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you really got some information. You got to see the wear on the command piston, the wear on the nozzle needles, and the wear on the seats. So it's a three-way bet, okay? And if you leave them in there, you're not going to win. Now, I understand some people, oh, I can't afford to do them yet, and we totally understand that. But can you afford a new engine? That's the other thing, right? So a new engine is a lot dearer than a set of injectors. And yeah, you're right, it could happen anyway because you've left them in too long. And it could happen anyway if contamination comes along. That's another video. Okay, check the other videos. Search on our channel. Fuel contamination, see what comes up. Search cracked piston, see what comes up. Anyway, we've dealt with a few of those. We know a little bit about it. And just here to help, guys. So if you got something out of that, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn the bell on. Otherwise, you're just doing yourself an injustice. You're going to miss. This is really important information. And yeah, we'll be looking in the comments for anything you want to put in there that's nice and positive, because that's how we roll. Right, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Until next time, bada bing, bada boom.